So wifey likes these ghost shows, right? And I do not believe in ghosts at all. So listen I listen to these things from afar. I don't watch them with her because like I'll just piss her off because I'll just start calling out all of the bullshit that these shows do. I mean, because think about it, like regular shows that people got into, like Pawn Stars and the one where they bid on lockers and all of that stuff, like all of that shit was set up, right? Even the
Yeah.
one with the two guys, the antique picker guys, all that shit, it's all set up, it's all staged. They set up certain aspects of it, whatever. So obviously they do the same thing with these ghost shows. But regardless of whether you believe or not, sometimes they go to these extremes that I'm just like, you got to be fucking kidding me. So I'm listening to these assholes talk about these ghost cases or whatever. I don't know which show it was. And these fucking assholes truly believed or were acting like they believed that a ghost took a oven mitt, dropped it onto a stove, turned the stove on, and disabled the fucking smoke detector to try to harm the people in the house. And it, I'm just like, do people really believe this? Like, there's like these Charles Manson ghosts out there that just want to just destroy you and kill your whole family. That they're conniving and they can actually physically do all of these things. Mind you, that's three separate physical things that would have to be done. Drop the fucking thing on the stove, turn the stove on, and then disable the smoke detector. You're going to tell me that it's not entirely feasible that the smoke detector was already fucked up or the batteries were dead or whatever, and the stove was already on, and the
And
fucking
someone left the oven mitt on the
and
stove.
yeah, either they left the oven mitt on the stove or it just fell because of, like, a hook fell or whatever, some just regular random occurrence happened, and these assholes are trying to blame ghosts on it. Like, it's fucking. I swear to God, it pisses me off every time I watch this shit because these fucking assholes are using all these instruments and like, it's just like, Jesus Christ, get the fuck out of my face with this stuff. So I try to stay away from it, but just that one sent me over the top. Have you ever seen these things?
Yeah, I mean, look. So I've got maybe a little bit varying viewpoint than you. I'm not going to say that ghosts don't exist, or I don't think that the possibility, because I feel like all life is energy. Energy like returns to energy, like whatever. So plus, I mean, I've had an encounter that I thought was something weird, like supernatural. So I won't fucking say it's not possible. However, some of the shit like for these shows definitely seems like over the top.
So would you say that when they have these guys doing the police investigations and stuff like that, and those assholes are like supposedly leading them in the right direction, like, you believe that stuff? The premonition folks? I know that's not
Um,
ghosts, but it's another,
no, I mean
form.
like the psychic mediums and shit like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, like some of those dudes have been right.
See, I
Like
don't
some of
believe
those,
none of that shit.
but some
None.
of those
Zero.
psychics. Look, it may be fucking simple deduction. Maybe these people like have looked at the facts and were able to deduce like a most likely scenario. But there's definitely been cases where like they've been able to lead police in the right direction, or to disclose a name, or disclose a potential, whatever. Um, yeah, I mean, you hear all these haunting stories.
What, you mean like when Polly Walnuts went to the fucking thing and the ghost whisperer got all like talked to his first hit and Polly got all pissed off and left?
Fucking Sopranos.
I don't know, man. Listen, you can believe what you want. I believe what I'm gonna believe, but these shows are over the top. I don't think there's any. I don't think anybody can disagree with that. Even even the wife who watches them all the time sometimes is like, this is bullshit. Like,
So look, you got to think it's about selling the show, and if they were like, yeah, a book fell off the shelf, we think a ghost did it. That's not going to sell the show. But
well, how
if they
about the
say that,
instruments, dude? The fucking fancy instruments, and oh, did you hear that? And they replay it, and they're drawing conclusions and saying, oh, they said fuck that bitch, and they didn't really say fuck that bitch. It was just something that just went like
but the, but the, do you remember the days of vinyl? Like the big thing was you would take the vinyl and you would spin it backwards,
yeah, and there
and
was
you'd
like
like
devil fucking lyrics or whatever.
So I mean, that's just the same thing. Like when they do the white noise, they record a room, and then they'll
Yeah, yeah, like there's not some guy in a microphone somewhere going, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
yeah. But I mean,
Like,
look,
come on, guys.
I'll tell you, I had a supernatural experience. Some years ago, I was like coming home from like work.
I hope it wasn't
It
a
was late at
sexual
night.
one.
No, it wasn't a sexual one. I was driving through the battlefield, and like as I got through the battlefield, like you have to drive like 25, 35 miles an hour through the battlefield. So you have to drive pretty slow. And as I was coming over the hill through the battlefield, I saw like a lantern across the road.
Wait, what the fuck is the battlefield?
So Virginia was a big Civil War battle area.
Yeah, but
Um,
what's the battlefield?
so there's battlefields where like different places in the area where the Battle of Fredericksburg were fought.
Okay, I'm just
So
asking because not everybody knows this stuff.
yeah, so there's an area where there's like a cross through where you can get from one side of town to the other side through this battlefield, and there's a road that runs through the battlefield.
Okay,
So it's run by national park forest rangers and all that shit. So as I'm driving through there, I saw a lantern across the road. Maybe I was fucking tired. I don't
was it
like.
green?
It's not a green lantern, but I saw this lantern like slowly cross the road, and it made me slow down because I was like, oh shit, like I thought maybe someone was walking through there at night, jogging, because people jog through there, ride bikes, but there was no one in sight, and this lantern just crossed the road and then disappeared.
So you had a floating lantern float by you while you were driving home.
Yeah, like in front of the car, and then
This sounds like a fucking Scooby Doo mystery, dude.
But I will say, like when I passed that point where I'd seen the lantern, like I got this real.
And I would have got away with it if it wasn't for those motherfucking meddling kids.
Motherfucking messing kids. But when I ended up passing that point, like I got this unsettling feeling, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here because that was kind of weird, and I went about my business.
All right, see, now I don't want to get too much into this, but I feel like the mind is a extremely powerful thing, and I feel like the mind can turn things into other things. And I'll give you an example. I was once a security guard doing overnights and in some old ass buildings, and with like those big portraits of the fucking founder on the wall and stuff like that. And you would get a certain feeling when you walk through those areas, but it wasn't because there was fucking ghosts there. It's because your mind is like, damn, this is creepy as fuck. So you start believing there's a fucking, this shit might be haunted. I honestly believe it's just your mind playing tricks on you. But whatever, that's neither here or there. You believe it, I don't. I understand. I don't hate on people who believe it. I just choose not to.
Yeah.
Um, so if 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 you believe in ghosts, go for it. You know, if being the asshole that I am, I would probably be a guy that dressed in all black and walked through the battlefield with some old school lantern just to fuck with people. But that's just me.